You picked the longest video, bro. I don't know if the good clips are gonna be in this one.
I don't know. Like I'm just. You want me to move to a different one?
Yeah, go to the 133 one, and then let's catch the best.
The 133. Is that really all that we got on them?
I feel like
every single day we're all getting a little bit.
Okay. Let's see.
It's all good. Imagine they had top 10 and shit.
These allegations are ridiculous. I cannot comment on a video that I have never seen or does not exist.
I want the police chief, Bill Blair, to release his video.
I saw a video. Is it extremely embarrassing?
Rip his fucking throat out, I'll pull his eyes out, I will fuck when he's dead, and I'll make sure that motherfucker's dead.
Obviously, I was extremely inebriated.
It'll be a bad, I'm a sick motherfucker, dude.
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine. Do I? Am I an addict? No. Have I tried it? Probably in one of my drunken stupors. Olivia Gondak, it says that I wanted to eat her pussy. Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life tour. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home.
I've got more than enough. That is a banger line though. That is a banger line.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize.
Shoot, what the hell happened? The fuck? Oh, come on. Shit, the stream stopped. Nice. I'll fix this stream in a second. I don't know why it stopped. Shit. Come on. Oh, terrible. There we go. Alright, let's see what the heck is going on with the stream. Ugh. We got ads. Fun.
Pacifico is brewed for those who follow
Test.
their own path. That's living life anchors up.
Oh, dude.
My
today
God.
It's a bad day.
Damn.
Come on.
What's the other clip? The first one. There's multiple clips of him speaking.
Wait, he
with the
speaks. He does it multiple times.
Taking on climate change.
Okay,
Is
bro.
he
we
just
can
constantly doing this?
He's amazing.
Oh, I wouldn't have been him yesterday.
How do you know?
In a red tie and suit with a City of Toronto pin on? It sure looks like him,
Well,
sir.
yeah, I'm sure it's him, but it wasn't yesterday. I haven't seen the video, but I know it wasn't yesterday because I was talking to him last night.
What
So-
time?
How's your brother?
Oh, this is his brother? Oh, this is his brother
What is
they're
this
asking.
Doug for?
Yeah, this is Doug Ford. They're asking him about the shit.
Damn. Is he? What's he like? Is Doug like?
He's trash, bro. He's trash. He's been hiding because he fucked up the COVID thing so bad. I remember when COVID hit, when the NBA shut down, that same week he was like, "Yeah, people, go on your spring break. Don't worry about this stuff." Da da da. And now he's like, he flip flops constantly, and now he's like kind of just laying low because he didn't want to hurt the conservatives in the federal election. But basically, Justin Trudeau's major attack was like, do you want Canada to be run by a guy like Doug Ford and the Conservatives? No.
Damn. So they were both conservative?
Yeah.
Wait, Rob Ford has escaped from rehab? What's this?
Toronto Mayor Rob Ford really is in rehab. He is in rehab. No one knows exactly where. All we're being told is it's somewhere in North America. Now, I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm just happy Mayor Ford is finally getting the help he so desperately needs. What's that? Really? You're kidding, really? I've just been told, pretend, that, with very few words, I've just been told, could you at least pretend to be telling me? All you did was go like this, boo. Boo. What's that? Boo.
Conan, unironically, is one of the last funny, like, late night hosts.
Yeah, you think so?
I think he's kind of
I
funny.
don't know. I think this whole style of comedy is like outdated.
I think he was okay.
Huh. Didn't even know we were.
Boo. Apparently, if what Jeff Ross just muttered is true, I'm told Rob Ford's escaped from rehab. He's on the loose in the Los Angeles area. I think we've got footage right now. Let's take a look. There he is. He's running up a hill. He's headed up a hill. He's headed, I think he's running towards a fence. He's climbing a fence. Rob Ford is now, he's across the highway. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like
he's crossing the freeway. Control officers have found debris. They're on his trail. This could be him. They're not. He's hijacked a bike. Rob Ford has hijacked a bike. And what else is he up to now? It looks like he's attacking a car. Now he's headed to LA's only legal crack clinic. He's at a gas station. He's drinking gasoline. He's in a tree. I think they've cornered him in a tree. They have tranquilizers. This is good. They've got him out of the tree.
Fuck yeah, no, that was serious commitment to the bit.
Yeah, they really went all out on the bit. Okay.
Yeah, anyways, there you go. Should we end on that?
Should we end on that? Yeah, we've been going for an hour and a half. We can end it on that. It's short and sweet. Hippie burned out podcast. I'm getting my branding mixed up.
We just gotta keep the consistency, you know?
Yeah, we gotta keep the consistency. Next time we'll have a guest though.
Yo, I can ask David Dole if he wants to come
I'd love
on.
to have David Dole.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Hit it. Come on. Stream stuff.
That debated with Vosh.
Really? How'd that go?
Yeah, she rage quit on me.
You rage quit? Why'd she rage?
I asked because I basically wanted to know if immigrants are colonizers and how immigrants fall into the whole colonizer versus colonized dichotomy. And we kind of just like started on that, and then it didn't really, and then she just like abruptly quit like after I gave a little bit of pushback. It lasted like an hour. And then I'm like, do you want to plug your channel or anything? She's like, nah, bye. I'm like, whoa. Damn. Yeah, it was intense. But anyways, yeah, you guys can check that out. I'll be posting that. The whole thing lasted maybe an hour, but the first 20 minutes I was like super nice, just interviewing, kind of like, how was it to debate Vosh? Did you get a lot of backlash from his community? Kind of like these kind of things. Like, why did you get into content creation? And then I'm like, okay, let's get to the situation. Well, I'm an immigrant, and I want to know, am I a colonizer or no? And that's kind of how it started. And then, you know, the other thing.
Did she give you an answer though?
She said she had never thought about it. I'm like, don't you think that like maybe then the colonizer-colonized dichotomy is not an accurate analysis of the current state of the world? Like, there's so much more dynamics at play here. There's
have that issue. Oh no. Dude, where are you? Oh man, come on.
It would be nice just to have your support for once. Excuse me. Yummy. Live in my body. Live by my rules. No. Wow. Yeah. No. You can't wait for the hungry guillotine.
To talk about today. So much more. So much more. What else do we have to cover? Oh yes, we need to cover this. Try to figure out what order I gotta go. But first, before anything else, I gotta use the bathroom desperately. Holy shit.
What are you?
I'll be right back, okay?
Take it, please.
Let's see, what should we play for music?
Oh, dude. All right. I see what we're doing.
We'll just play this. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. Oh, my dude. I don't want drugs. All right.
Говорит радиокорпорация BBC. Лондон. Радиоинформационная программа предлагает вашему вниманию хит-парад. Слушайте запись экзотик-поп-дуэта «Кармен».
Increase revenue, gross profit overall, so they maybe at one point they could probably afford to pay you the 15 and have the good balance sheet. Yeah, y'all don't know what y'all talking about sometimes, man. Y'all just come up here, y'all venting. Y'all are venting.
Yeah, maybe there
I don't
is-
like how you're comparing the fucking.
and I
They
will
were trying
say-
to outpace their debt, huh?
I will.
If they were trying to outpace that would be called a Ponzi scheme. All right, but like but no,
I don't
like
deny-
that we're comparing the fucking small business owners who have to open another store to increase profits to the people who literally can't pay their fucking rent every month.
Right.
Like holy shit! Like these are two different classes
They're
of fucking
paying
people.
rent. They're paying rent in the building. A lot of these people pay
Business
rent.
owners are literally the ones that are employing the people with their rent, such that they can even make rent per month. Like it's like you're demonizing the small business owners, even though they're the ones that are employing the vast majority. I'm sorry, not the vast majority. They're employing like 48% of Americans. I looked that up. So if they're employing 48% of Americans to demonize the people that are literally dang near half of our freaking workforce, employing half of our workforce, even though the vast majority of them will eventually fail, all the 66% of them do. Like it's just crazy to me. Like what? Like.
Hold on, Finite. I just want to push back on the 48% because it's probably like that because they just transitioned to something like Amazon.
I googled it.
No, 66% of small
What year?
businesses
What year
fail.
was the data? What year was the data?
After 5 or 10 years, I can't remember. I think it's 5 years.
Yeah, it's 10, 66% is up like 10. But yeah, so the idea is, yeah, like they currently make up 48% of all like
Get in there.
employees in the country. 48.
What year was that? What year was that statistic?
Currently.
Currently, so it was like 2019.
Yeah.
Or 2019 to 2021. Okay. Wait, but that's fairly new. That's I just don't want to.
So we're dealing with
data. That's
I don't
not.
care how new. I don't care how new it is. We're dealing with now. So now, the statement I'm making is accurate now. So
Now-
currently,
The Mu virus is
small
on the
business-
move, bro. The Mu variant is on the move. You're talking
What
about
does that have to
now.
do with the statement I just made? Izzy, please stop. This is why I'm muting you.
No, it has a
48%.
big.
Oh my
COVID
God,
has
I'm
a
gonna mute you.
big.
I'm just not gonna
No,
ignore you. I'm gonna ignore you. I'm gonna ignore you. It's fine. 48. So my point that I was making is 48%
But
of
it ain't
all
gonna be an
employees.
echo chamber, bro.
40. Right, got you. Echo chamber. 48% of all small businesses. I mean, the small businesses employ 48% of the country's workforce right now. 48%. That's a really, really significant number. So to demonize these people, like, oh man, they're just being greedy, or oh, they don't need to do this right now, or oh, when we don't know their worksheets, we don't know their balance sheets, we don't know what their like debt to income ratio is, we don't know any of these things. Like it's
Then I would argue that there needs to be more transparency in that. Absolutely, 100%.
A lot of well, at least when it comes to corporations, or a lot of when it comes to like corporations, or
100%. That should be a part of. If you're gonna open a business, you have to have transparency with your records and how much money you're making to make sure that so that your workers can make sure that they're being paid fair.
The government, they have that when it comes to the government, but like when it comes to any publicly traded company, they all have their 10Ks, right? So like they already release exactly what their costs are and exactly what they're spending and all that stuff. Anytime you want to look up any kind of stock for any company, you can find out exactly what the value and what their revenue is and what their debt is and where they're headed and all those things. You can find out all that information. Like that's all available. Like there's transparency for that. But demanding that same thing for something like a small business sounds a little bit absurd.
No, I don't think so.
We don't even know like all the different classifications of small business. We're thinking like restaurants and stuff. That seems to be like what everyone's talking about. But like small business can be anything. Like think about like little league, yeah, like that, or like a little league baseball field or something where people take their kids to go learn t-ball or something like that. That can classify as a small business. And to raise like minimum wage for that to $15 an hour, I don't see how it's going to be sustainable for everything. That's why like a tiered system, whatever I guess the government can do for some of these small businesses, whatever they categorize them as, they give them some kind of aid or something like that, help them offset the cost of having to pay everyone $15 an hour so we keep our little community fund stuff, and then, move up as corporations and stuff get involved. Tax it, give them less aid or whatever. I don't know. Something could work.
I don't know. Anyone disagree with that? What's wrong with that statement?
No. Giving aid sounds like it's a good idea.
Nice. Wow, nice shot. And again, the stream is down. Oh man, we're just on a roll now. Peach the puppet. Shit. Get in there. There we go.
Tell the world there's gonna be carnage. You bet your ass.
And employers, whether that relationship is stable and sustainable and fair to the workers and fair to the businesses. Like, yes, there are other things that we can do, but like if this is something that's beneficial, then you should be arguing that it's something that's beneficial. Like just simply saying there are other things that could be done. Like that doesn't what? Like,
Let's go.
But at the end of the day, we do have to draw a line in the sand. And we say, like, hey, if you're paying less than this, you
I'm gonna let him press.
I still think Top Dolphin is 100% correct. We are like infantilizing some of these smaller businesses and the practices they do. I don't know. I've like in a lot of these mom and pop places, like they already own like property. They're already landlords, right? They like some of these people only employ one person to begin with. At that, they're making like money. Like they're not like millionaires or whatever like that, right? They're still making money. They're still able to survive. This isn't like gonna like this is gonna kill some of these like businesses that like are doing these practices. But it's not like the workers is in abundance, especially service industry. The service industry is booming, right? You need a job. You need employment. employment, right? I'm telling you, go to the service industry. There is good pay, right? You know what you're looking for. Don't settle for anything less. Like these companies out here, they're paying this money, right? DoorDash, fuck Uber, but like DoorDash, right? You can make a living, right? Just like delivering orders and not having to fuck with any of these companies, right? Like people are just doing DoorDash on the side. Like the reason why all these companies here are losing like employees is because their employees are finding other work that is better. Like that they can work where they feel like working, and like they'll have the income for the month they need, right? And not have to worry about it. They know that like I can stop doing this when I feel like it and then go right back to it whenever I need to.
Chris,
right?
it's beautiful. Yeah, the service industry is booming. How much are they paying right now? Looks like they have an annual salary. They have an annual average salary of $27,602. That equates to about roughly $13 an hour. Yeah, it's booming because they're not.
Okay, it depends on where you are, right? Because here it's more than that, right? Here it's over $15 an hour for all these places, right? Even Uber, yes.
Uber pays $15 an hour.
Yes, here they do, right? This is like going crazy right now. It's getting expensive for Uber right now, but DoorDash, Lyft, right now,
dude, all right, I'm done.
Everybody's working for Lyft. Everybody's working for DoorDash here, right? And they're leaving these companies, but this isn't like their only sole income. Some people are just like on the side, like they're working 2 of these service industry jobs, and they're doing it whenever they feel like it. They're able to make their rent on time, right? And it depends on the company. The company. What I'm saying is this may not be a good.
Wait, stop. Uber's national salary. Nope. Uber's national salary. I'm sorry. Ohio salary is 21,000. Nope, not national. Sorry, I spoke wrong. Ohio salary is 21,836, which is 56% below the national average. What are you talking about?
I'm here in the city, so I don't like.
I don't care about you and your anecdotes. I'm talking about the actual data. Find me anything that says something.
If you might have a different law because it's a city. Like cities sometimes.
Yeah, like I'm in the city.
Also, by the way, that number you gave is above the Ohio minimum wage, by the way.
Yeah, the Ohio minimum wage is low.
Yeah,
it's like
a lot of places.
8.25.
A lot of places, like, yes, they have the minimum wage, and then like sure. I don't know what it is related to like the Ohio minimum wage, but at the end of the day, my point is like to say that these services, that these places are booming, when it's like, man, like when they're like the wages that you're demanding and saying that are like so acceptable are not what's being paid, then it makes all the sense. If somebody's paying something 75 cents an hour, then yeah, I bet you it's booming. Do you think there's like a super shortage of people of like farm or agricultural workers in this country? Probably not, but we know how low, like for the quality of work that these people are doing, we know how like underpaid they are.
Oh, what a save. I'm not there. Nice. Oh shit. Where? Dude, this is super annoying.
There was a first cutback, a first bunny hop, a first hand plant. Now, there's the first ever Hyundai Santa Cruz to help you on the journey to all your firsts. Every journey to adventure begins somewhere. Start yours in our first ever sport adventure vehicle, the Hyundai Santa Cruz.
First, sounds like a little ridiculous to me. That's all I was saying. What are you talking about here?
I'm like, to go back on what I was saying, and also the service industry is much more than like these like DoorDash and everything. It's customer support, it's tech support, right? These places,
which is working from home.
Yes, and they're hiring across state lines and they're paying crazy amounts of money. I'm telling you, like, it's like there's like work to be had, and like they're snatching up the workforce right now. That's what's the problem. That's what's happening here. That's why a lot of these places are losing. They're just snatching people up because they're paying so much more. They're letting you work in a more comfortable work environment, and they're giving you benefits
and a safer work environment.
Yeah,
which is a big reason what I was talking about.
So I think something that we need to also talk about is that not all small businesses are the same, and that like a small business can be anything from the mom and pop Chinese place that's just them and their family and has 7 employees, to the to companies that literally have 1,500 employees and make $40 million a year, right? Like all of these things are encompassed in small businesses, and maybe it would be better if there are like different categories. I mean, there are different categories in terms of like taxes and stuff like that, but in terms of like the conversation, like maybe like local businesses deserve something different than like a small like massive chain of McDonald's that's like 30 strong, right? Like not every small business is necessarily the same, and not every like your mom and shop businesses you're gonna be like way different than like your massive like small businesses with like thousands of employees.
Okay. Right now.
Oh, sorry. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, because of COVID, a lot of people's cost of living was cut short because they literally weren't leaving their homes unless they were going to get food. You're like, their traveling expenses completely vanished. A lot of the working.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Well, $15 an hour becomes a lot more viable when people can actually afford to live on $15 an hour. Which is why I'm saying COVID but before COVID, people had to go to work. They had to get up and pay mass transit fees. They had to pay gas fees for their cars. Like a lot of people had to pay to bring their children. Like if they have multiple people in their families,
there's
they
like
want
lots of costs that have been like denied by COVID.
But that's so what I'm basically trying to talk numbers right now, not just pure like
what about
statistics
these numbers?
and
What about these
feelings.
numbers have like anything bearing on any of the things that have been contended thus far in the conversation? You're literally just bringing up little ancillary numbers about just, hey, by the way, here's some things we can talk about. Like, let's talk about the fact that people's cost of living went down. What does that have to do with when we're talking about the minimum wage? Well, let's talk about the fact that like people like leave these jobs for whatever. We're not even talking about.
Did you not hear what I said? I said the $15 minimum wage becomes a lot more viable because people can now survive on about less than $15,000 a year.
Wait, $15 an hour is not $15,000.
What is it?
It's
What
about
is it, like
$30,000 a year. What?
15,000 by 23 weeks?
No,
15 by 15.
$50 an hour is around $30,000 a year, around $31,000 a year. Right?
Oh, I need to do the math. Let me do it right now. 15 times 30.
$15 an hour is $15,000 a year.
Times 23. It's 10,350.
No, it's about 30K a year.
Hold on. Are you talking? Hold on. Pause.
You got the last word, Azzy.
Are we talking hourly? Because I'm talking retail. And when I was working $15 an hour, I could not get them more than 30 hours. And you're getting paid like on the business, which is like 56 weeks divided by 2. You're getting paid bi-weekly.
So first off, it's 52 weeks, not 56.
It's 53. It's 53. It's 53. Business go off the 53 weeks.
Duncan.
You just said 56. Yes. You want to change that number again, Azzy?
I said 56. I'm at 53. So there's a misspeak.
All right. I don't think that necessarily matters because the people who are like whose cost of living went down, and made money during COVID were usually upper working class and middle class Americans with jobs that could be done working from home. The people we're talking about, who are probably benefiting from minimum wages.
Did you not hear Chris talk about service jobs?
Huh?
Yes, they popped up now. All these jobs are closing down at the beginning of COVID, right? Where these companies who could send employees home, they were able to do that. And like other places that like you were like, if you're working in a restaurant, if you're working retail, right? A lot of those people had to like let people go. Like a lot of those jobs had to let people go, and you couldn't work from home. Now, like
we already agreed across the board that for those type of jobs, it would it would be harder on the business and the individual.
Listen, if you
go
don't
out.
know, if you
But
can't tell me how many weeks
you
there are in a
brought up
year,
the
and you
new
think $15 is $15,000 a year,
go
it's a
off of
reason why
50
you make minimum wage, bro. Like, there's a reason why you're like you're the perfect candidate for that kind of labor. How do you get?
He's calling him an idiot. Damn it! All right, I don't know that I'm gonna do these kinds of streams. Oh shit. That needs help. It's coming back fast. Shit. Shit. Shit.
For 40 hours a week, like a full-time salary, $15 an hour, pays exactly how much? And the answer is $30,000 minimum. I think it's closer to $31,200. I think.
Can you just pull the calculator and stop saying I think, and just give me the share, please?
600 times,
So
what is it,
okay,
52?
so we can put this to rest.
Yeah, okay, it is. So
$15 an hour
it's
is
$31,200 exactly. Like
$3,100
that.
a year
Did you
if
get
you
the
work
math
40
at
hours a week, dog.
Did you do the math?
It's
I think you have a
23,000 if you
calculator.
get 30 hours a week, and it's about 15,000 if you're working 20 hours a week, which would be severely part-time.
Which is the
right?
average person. Everybody's not working 40 hours a week, man.
You
Which is
think
the
the average
perfect.
person is employed to work 20 hours a week? This is why I'm muting you. This is why I'm muting you. You think the average person is making 15? I mean, is only working 20 hours per week?
No, they're working between 30 and 40. 40 is the max. But most
Okay,
people
if they're working
don't-
between 30 and 40, so then you just do what's 30% of 31,000? What is that? 60, like,
are you done? Or are you done?
23.6.
There you go. What
Which is still not a good salary. But let me finish. Since you want to be, let me finish.
Just talk it. I can't do it, bro. I can't. You
No,
get the
because
last word.
Fnatic
It's all
loves
yours.
the sound of his
It's
own
all
voice.
yours.
Fnatic,
you get the last word. I'm done talking to Azzy. This is
I
why
am
muted him.
fully convinced Fnatic loves the sound of his own voice. Okay.
And I hate the sound of
And
yours.
if
That's why I'm
someone's
muting you.
working 20 or 30 hours a week, right? They could probably afford to like these are the people that probably could get another job. What we're specifically talking about are people who are working 40 hours a week or have to do 40 hours at one job and 20 hours at another job and still can't pay rent. We're not worried about the high school student who's working like 20 hours a week and making 15K a year because they're
Were
not.
you not
they're not
listening?
the
I
problem,
literally
right?
said I was working between. Sometimes I would get like because there were so many employees. Sometimes I would only get 3 hours. This is how people listen. Talk. I don't want to hear anything from Talk because you said all my points and then disagreed with me. I don't want to hear anything from you. Like,
oh my, okay.
Fnatic just talks to himself. Literally, I said I was getting paid by.
the Azzy shit.
No, gee whiz, bro. This is how I know you don't listen because you guys don't let anybody finish.
Azzy, you got it. Got it.
No, bro. No, listen.
We
What?
just had it back and
No,
forth.
bro. No,
We
because
just
Fanatic
move on.
gets it.
Let's
Fanatic
move
gets to
on
blow his
to
top.
our
Fanatic
next
gets to
topic.
blow his top, and now nobody gets it. Nah, this is stupid.
All right, we gotta
This is
move
really
on.
dumb.
We gotta move on to our next one.
This is dumb, bro. This
Because-
is really dumb.
Okay, great.
If I'm getting paid bi-weekly and I'm making $450,
Hey, first off, Azzy, being paid bi-weekly has nothing to do with how much you make a year. Whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly,
monthly.
fucking every 15 days, like it, you can get paid once a year.
I hope you
It's not
guys don't
gonna
have
change the
businesses.
amount.
I hope you guys don't have business.
Okay, all right. We're just gonna have to leave that
I
on.
hope you don't
have a business, bro.
Azzy, we'll hold this all. All right, we're gonna hold this all.
Like, what's the
I don't know how
average?
you
The
do
average
it. I
person
don't know
that
how
I don't even
you-
know. I don't know.
I don't know how. I don't know how you get this week. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. That shit was funny. I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. No, that's moderate face back on. I'm sorry. That's me. Okay, moving on. Moving on. All right. All right, no, I got it. So, topic 2. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act is dead in the Senate. Before I do that, hey, if you guys are enjoying all of this, hit that follow button right now. Hit that follow button, make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. I do 6 nights a week. Don't want you to miss out. So you've been sitting here, enjoying this content. Hit that follow button. I want you to see more of this. Also, exclamation social and chat to follow us and social media. Follow us on Twitter for channel updates. Jump into our Discord. We'll have all our conversations happening on Discord. So come in, be a part of the community. It's a huge community. I think you'll enjoy it. And then last but not least, go to YouTube. Subscribe, like, and comment. That's where the VODs are. So if you're looking at the VOD of this, missed anything, want to see it, go to our YouTube. That's where you'll find that. So help us out there. Okay, back to the second topic. All right. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act is dead in Senate. This dooms its prospects of becoming law during this congressional session. Democrats could not secure enough Republican votes to beat a filibuster. But who do you blame for this? The Republicans who almost never support black civil rights advancements, or Democrats who continuously fail to secure those rights? I wish our friend GSU was here for this guy. I know he's also very passionate about this issue. But we got a great group I think we'll be able to manage. So Top Dolphin, I hope you've recovered from the last topic. Taking a breather, right? So
I'm doing okay, Prime.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing, but at the end of the day, like, this is like federal police and like it has a little bit in there for state police and local police. But at the end of the day, police reform has to come at like the fucking state or local level. Like this would have been cool, but I don't think it would have been that impactful, honestly. And I guess we could say that like we could try to point fingers at like whose fault it is or should the filibuster exist and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if we want like real police reform, we have to like start from the bottom up. You gotta vote in local elections and elect like people who are gonna like work on this shit. You need to advocate to your local politicians, because federal, like the whole idea of targeting like federal police policy from the federal level is just silly.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Do I think we should blame Republicans or Democrats for this? On one hand, I do think Republicans definitely, or conservatives in general, I think if they look deeper into the general messaging or just deeper into the message that people have been putting out during this pandemic, and not just the shitty taglines of defund the police or abolish the police. For that, I do blame the Democrats. I do blame left-leaning people for adopting a slogan that essentially made conservatives and moderates nowhere near even considering doing anything or passing any sort of left law that had anything to do with the police, either on a federal or state level. So So the fault lies with both. The conservatives don't really want to do the research into knowing what we're trying to adjust and not admitting that police in this country, just in general, have too much power. They have too much power. The Democrats failed by promoting, or at least not outright condemning, a pretty shitty slogan.
Let's go to Azzy.
Before Senpai, you were talking about defund the police? What slogan were you talking about before I go?
Yeah, defund the police or abolish the police.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, I more blame the left for making a battle that, and then BLM for actually even having something to say about the act. Then I blame the right, because if anything, you just give the right more ammunition to stalemate. What's his name? Was it Tim? What's his name? Tim Scott?
Tim Scott, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he literally used the very slogan that you guys inaccurately used. I think I was talking to Yamoto about this before we even started. They should have had a better slogan, or they should have just moved in silence and just waited, which is what the Republicans did when they put in the Suppression Voter Act. Like, literally, this bill probably could have made traction if people just shut up. Honestly. That's all I have to say. Like, yeah, that's it. Like, I blame the left that this didn't work out.
Wow. Okay. All right. We're gonna have a fight about that in a second. But thank you for that. Let's see. Let's go to Chris Cosmo.
This is solely on the right. Yes, I can blame Democrats for some incompetence in marketing this bill to like certain like Republican constituents, because it's a lot less than what defund the police or abolish the police that the leftists are pushing. Like this, like George Floyd Act was like the perfect bill, right? It wasn't doing something. It wasn't doing anything like incredibly crazy. It was doing things that made sense, right? It was like a bill that makes sense to start somewhere. Like it had a lot of really good things in it, and it wasn't like just like completely completely tearing down police like systems and like completely like restructuring them all together, right? Or completely abolishing the like police state. This should have been an easy one to push. But because because Republicans push back on anything Democrats do, even if like this bill wasn't that bad, and like they could market it to their own, like, because like the issues with police power and like the police state right now, it's like, even though it disproportionately affects black individuals, it affects everyone. Like everyone is getting screwed over by the police, and everyone is getting treated terribly by the police. And this bill could have helped everyone in a way. More so black people, because of the things it had in it. And like this should have been something like easy to pick up. It could have calmed all these, like it could have calmed a lot of senses like down, a lot of people's anger down, if we would have like went for this on all sides. Like white people would have said like, oh, we are like at least like, not to say all white people, but like at least Republicans and right saying like, all right, this is something we can do, and you're not like tearing down everything. This isn't defund the police. This isn't all that. These like things make sense. We should have been already doing these things anyway, right? Like this makes sense. We can do this, and if it helps quell the things that are happening down, we should go ahead and do this. But because Republicans are not in power and they want to like just like push back on everything, they want to make chaos, they want to make this like this whole regime of the Democratic Party right now look bad. This is why they did this. There's no reason this should have been like thrown down. And like the Democrats, they like, if you're talking about like Democrats like in Congress right now, they've been pushing back on like the idea of like,
Duncan, come on.
Like that. Okay. They weren't adopting that language. They've like been in the media pushing back against it. Like Biden has been pushing back against it. So I don't think they were adopting that. It's just the Republicans making it seem like that.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I did not believe this was going to pass at all. I didn't think the Republicans were going to vote on this. Mostly because, one, the timing with it happening with George Floyd. A lot of the people already see all the stuff with BLM and all that. The right uses that as like some kind of justification as to why they push back against BLM. All that nonsense. But now I bet a lot of the people on the right probably feel like this is something that Democrats are trying to push on them. So kind of like Chris was saying, they just push back on it. But again, I think a lot of people are just still racist. and they really probably didn't want this passed. Like the same people who like didn't want this to pass are the same people that were behind Trump cheering whenever he was talking about putting people in the car. You know, don't hold their head too nice and all of this. You know, all of that. I think those are the people who also didn't want this to pass.
Not expect that to go on.
That's really.
Thank you so much.
It's a shame that it didn't pass. I kind of want to give it to both sides argument. The Republicans not taking like interest in wanting to do something about the bill, but there were harmful rhetoric that did spread. Even though the left did say that they weren't for it, the harmful rhetoric of defund the police and defund the police did hurt it a little bit. That's all I got to say.
Fanatic.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, this thing, you know, obviously you know how much I like cared about this bill and wanted it to pass. First off, like, yeah, it's absolutely harmful that it didn't pass, but I want to say that it's not just Republicans. I think it's Democrats as well. Specifically leftists. When this bill first got introduced, of course, Black Lives Matter and other insane leftists. Yeah, just a minute. I'll bring it in if you got food. And other leftists literally had the audacity to make these statements.
Duncan.
Like that they were for a second bill. They said specifically that they had like a competing bill that they liked. I want to push back against the idea that this is like a thing only dealing with federal or whatever. One of the like provisions within the bill was specifically like the inclusion of arming the Department of Justice is doing in independent investigations. I think that was really important. A lot of the body cam footage and things like that were not just for federal policing. The way that they got around it, because obviously policing is something that's like a state level thing, they made rules where it was like, okay, well, your funding will be directly tied to, you know, like whether or not you comply. So it's like, okay, look, we can't force you to do this because legally that's outside of our jurisdiction. But what we can say is if you're not going to do this, then we're just not going to give you funding. And then at that point, then that forces these places to end up following those things. We saw the same kind of thing happen when like Obama was like, hey, guess what? Schools, if you don't allow children to use the bathroom with which they identify, then you can't then you can't get federal funding, which of course means a lot of these schools literally couldn't complete the function. So, there was a bunch of things that were like done at the state level. Yes, we do need independent legislation specifically at the state level, but this bill was absolutely stupidly huge. One of the most important things that they did was like literally ending qualified immunity, or changing dramatically super duper limiting qualified immunity. That right there might not, but that might be something that's at the federal level, but that is like the shield that allows these cops to get away with a bunch of the nonsense that they do. So like, yeah, I don't think that this bill was something that was like specifically germane to state level. Like, it had so many federal implications, and I'm sick of leftists and they're constantly do away with everything like arguments and constantly wanting that. Like, no, we can have actual discussions about how to adequately reform something, and this is one of them.
Oh,
Keep going until I lose.
We're gonna have a fight.
That's the
All right,
deal.
so open to the panel.
Yeah, I think most of us. I think most of us come to that middle area where it's both, like more so fanatic, like more so like the leftists. I think hijacking the BLM, all of like how the protesting that started, and then like the hijacking of that with like different like social issues and like anarchist stuff, like that was all like super weird. Like you see the videos all the time, like people in these neighborhoods telling other people to literally stop burning and looting down these places, right? The movement obviously got hijacked somewhere along the line that last year. But the messaging and not outright condemning it during the election almost got Trump reelected. Literally.
Oh
my God.
Chris, you gotta save me.
They did condemn it.
A lot of leaders did not outright condemn it. They just didn't say like, you know, like don't want to defund it. Some people did. Some Democratic leaders did. But a lot of leftist leaders who are not necessarily political figures who still hold a lot of sway and influence in that sphere definitely promoted defund the police. It was absolutely insane.
Oh no, sorry, we're not gonna do a defund the police thing. We're not gonna roll into that. Just like we're not gonna get distracted by that. But let's go to Chris.
We cannot.
That's literally what Tim Scott said to in order to say I don't want to vote yes on this.
this is we can't let Republicans keep using this excuse, because what was in this George Floyd bill was not any of that, right? So like they can't use that excuse that like they're trying to defund the police and all this stuff. That wasn't in the bill. This George Floyd Act. It wasn't any of that, right? And like again, Democrats did push back on this. This is why a lot of leftists were so they were like spreading some like stuff about not even voting blue, like or voting for like Biden at the time, because they hated the rhetoric that he was pushing out. I did too. Don't get me wrong, right? But at the same time, this is like, if leftists hated this bill so much, why didn't Republicans like perk up and be like, oh, they hate this? Let's go ahead and do this, right? No, the Republicans aren't going to do shit that the Democrats want to do, even if it's beneficial to them. They don't care, right? Like, we have to stop giving these Republicans this excuse. We have to stop letting like them like scapegoat the leftists for this. They already have their agenda. They're set on it, and they'll watch the world burn to get it. Right? They don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter if the leftists weren't even there. If the leftists weren't a thing, and like we just had regular liberals like in this, right? This would still be the same situation going down. We still have these. So we can't keep scapegoating leftists for this. Like this, Republicans
Chris.
are all the way. Like,
Chris, has AOC asked for the defunding of the police? Has AOC done that?
AOC, yes, but like
She's
we're
a
talking about the
Democrat,
majority of the majority of Democrats. AOC has barely any.
Unfortunately,
power.
she's one of the most popular, and that opinion can
Popular
sway
doesn't
people.
equal.
Literally all of
Yeah,
Twitch politics.
We're not claiming that it's power.
Talk
but
about her
you made the
dress.
statement that there wasn't like some call. from
This
the
isn't
left.
political power. That's not political power.
We're not.
Yeah,
We're not saying it's politically
that.
powerful, but you said that you were trying to say that Democrats as a whole were pushing back against that, and I would totally agree with you. Establishment Democrats absolutely push back against this, but you do have vocal people like Ilhan Omar and AOC that were like pushing more of these ideas and like calling for these things, and you have Black Lives Matter, an organization which more like directly aligns. Right, they're like one of the largest Democratic organizations, which generates God knows how much money and revenue specifically towards Democrat candidates. They were absolutely like espousing things like defund the police, and so it is really hard, I would imagine, for Republicans to divorce this legislation that's coming from the Democratic Party, the same party that's saying all these other things, for them to get on board with it. Yes,
They are literally, this is their job. They're supposed to look over the bill, see what it is, right, and whether or not it equates to what it is this this rhetoric is, right?
Wait, but
if it
we're
doesn't
forgetting
equate
like
to
a
that-
big part of like how like electoral politics works, right? Because like it doesn't really matter if like the Republican lawmakers say, "Oh, none of this stuff is in the bill. We don't care." Which I'm gonna put. I don't think any of them read it. They don't really give a fuck. They're just gonna vote no.
Yeah.
So I want to hold the. I want to push back against all this anti-left shit because Republicans play a really big part in this.
That's
But
why
we
I said
also
it's
have to
Republican and
we also
Democrat.
have to remember. You also have to remember at the same time that like when it comes to electoral politics, if you have people on the ground and not Republican lawmakers but Republican voters, right, see people holding ACAB signs right next to fucking pass the George Floyd Releasing Act signs, right? It's gonna be really bad. And when the Republican lawmakers go and pass this, they're gonna lose fucking seats in the Congress. And we can never expect them to pass something that's gonna lose some seats, right? At the end of the day, we need to change the hearts and minds of the people on the ground. And a big part of that is messaging.
Democrats should have
That
did better.
being said, this dumbass fucking idea that like every vote has to be like right down party line and that like Republicans can't vote for anything that a Democrat ever says ever is fucking ridiculous. I swear that like if we wanted to pass something that was like, if we wanted to pass like the fucking Second Amendment today, or if Democrats put it up, Republicans would say fucking no, because it's so ridiculous that we have to play these fucking
It's all
games.
about points for
So,
your
like,
team.
while I want to say that the rhetoric around like a lot of the police shit was really bad, and in the public eye, like passing this for Republican lawmakers probably would have lost some seats, and that's why they didn't do it. At the same fucking time, it shouldn't be so ridiculous that like everything we bring to the table just gets shut the fuck down because it comes from the blue side.
All right, oh man, all right, I'm gonna check this back. I'm gonna be throwing elbows like in every fucking direction here. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. Yamato, if you want to say anything, and Azzy, if you have something to say, and I'm gonna step in because like I got a problem with fucking everything that's been said. Fuck you all. All right, Yamato.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Shit.
All right, okay. Well, before I do that, Azzy, do you have something to say?
Oh man! Oh, what a
how
mess.
The correlation between defund the police, ACAB, affecting negotiations. It's not like it's just completely done for the George Floyd Act. It's not done yet. It's just the time, like Karen Beth said, the timing is off because y'all leftists just saying stupid stuff in these streets.
Okay, all right.
That's why the timing is bad.
It's about that
and now,
time.
yes, it's coupled in with the Republican
time.
to Empire.
Oh, hold on. Oh no.
Are we really?
Oh, I thought you were okay. All right. You want to go
Why
into
you
it?
I'm not.
All
I'm
right.
mid.
All right, go ahead.
No, what you gotta say, Star Wars lover? What you gotta say?
Oh boy, here we go with that again.
Oh boy. All right, no, it's about that time. All right. So this. So we're not going to get into a defund the police discussion. We're not going to do it. You tempted me. I ain't going to do it. Sorry. Fuck it. We've done it so many fucking times. I'm only do it now. Do it sometime in the future. Not now. Right? But to say that that defund the police was the linchpin that made this all fall apart. Absolutely not. Did you even read the article or that I sent? Right? Like, did you read any of that? No. Hold on. Like this fell apart. This fell apart because of the immunity given to police. Republicans were never going to vote for that. They were never going to vote for that. Republicans who are well, pretend anyway, they're lockstep with the police officers, right? Until of course there's a riot involving Republicans, and then they're killing police officers, and then that's a problem. I don't know. And then they forget about that. Whatever. In any case, but like the Republicans never gave a shit about this. Like, so it was like that was dead on arrival for the Republican Party. There's no way. Like, imagine something like this ever passing a Republican majority, right? Like that would have just. It's not even the realm of possibility. Not even a realm of possibility, right? But then
Wait, no, because Booker already reformed that.
Okay, so and then you got Jamali here saying that like, oh, it's the Democrats' fault in general. What? Man, it's some Democrats, right? But what you did was you specifically picked out the leftists as the problem. Again, this bullshit about ACAB, right? As if that's this thing that was holding us back. Absolutely not. No, the problem are the corporate Democrats. Literally the right edge of the Democratic Party. They're the problem. Let's not pretend these two camps want the same thing, leftists and the corporatists within the Democratic Party. They actively are against each other. So the corporatists, right? We got people like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema who have left the filibuster in place. This could have been passed without any Republican votes. Like we got Manchin and Sinema. They said, well, we like the filibuster. We can't do anything about that, right? Like this is an important part of our democratic process, right? Which means, of course, we can stop any bit of progress, any progress that happens at all. And then Democrats can, the rest of the Democratic Party can throw up their hands and say, well, there's nothing that can be done. There's nothing can be done. Well, Manchin and Sinema said that they're not going to dismantle the filibuster, right? I'm not going to vote for the shit anyways, right? But beyond that, there's the Republicans who like, it's dead on arrival. So whose fault is it? I mean, Republicans are just like a standing terror when it comes to dealing with civil rights. They don't care. Like they're an obstacle to civil rights. That's straight up. But the Democrats, and I'm talking about the right wing of the party, that continuously fail us all the time, every time, always an excuse. Well, they can't accomplish a single fucking thing. No, they're the fucking problem. Not leftists asking and actively pushing for more, asking for more.
But you know what, Prime? Okay.
Tunk it, dude. Come on. Dude, come on. There we go. Nice shot. actually lasted quite a bit.
Eddie Brock, we've been waiting in the darkness for you.
On October 1st, the universe is expanding.
It's something way bigger happening than you and me.
I'm done with this guy.
Why me? We all had secrets.
Oh, dude.
You know what secrets went in? They went out.
Exclusively dated on October 1st, rated PG-13.
Around everything and trying to. Obama had unprecedented power. It's like we're gonna try our best to work with the Republican Party during that 2-year period, and he just wouldn't do everything. Whereas Republicans, they will mask off every time. Republican Supreme Court just upheld abortion, right? Like they basically allowed Texas with its anti-abortion legislation. They allowed that. That's masked off,
Well,
right?
hold on.
Like they're willing to do that.
Hold on, all they did was like refuse to block it, but they didn't like actually rule on its constitutionality, right? Okay.
Right, no,
but no, I mean, it's just
jurisprudence.
that's besides the point. But and I'm not defending this
Here's a
conservative.
better example.
I'm not.
When Obama was like trying to put someone inside of the seat, and they're like, I don't know, it's near the end of the year, we're gonna do it, and then the Democrats actually came.
I agree.
Like, oh, wait, and then the Republicans will say when they're in power, I don't care.
You and I are agreeing.
Mask off. So then,
You and I
so
are
then if we're
agreeing.
agreeing, then we understand the need for the filibuster.
No.
So trying to blame
No,
someone,
the
trying to
other
blame
no,
someone.
Oh, nice. Dude, I'm gonna change something here. This will make things easier.
I don't want to get too far into like a filibuster debate, but like what I am saying is that whoever is in power should have that power to use that power, right? So that if you get more than half of the votes, the seats, right? Just like in the Constitution, how it's actually written, then you should be able to pass laws. That's just the way it is, right? Next time, do better. Do better. But the way it is now, the filibuster, nothing gets done. Zero. We just have no progress at all with anything that fucking matters, right? Anything that doesn't have corporatist and Republican consensus, right? Like the military spending, that has consensus, so I'll pass every fucking time, right? Like this extra funding to Israel over their fucking Iron Dome bullshit, right? Like that shit will get passed every fucking time, right? Because there's consensus there. But beyond that, any actual progress will get stymied every time because of this fucking Senate bullshit rule. It's not in the Constitution. It's not in the Constitution.
Okay, Brian, but you interrupted me. I feel like
sorry.
so then the point that I was making originally is if you agree, and it sounds like you even doubled down on it even more so. So you do agree that the Republicans are much more willing to go mask off and do all sorts of nonsense, whereas the Democrats are significantly more weak and more passive, and like they're trying to pass their legislation and things like that. So because of that, that's why I think the idea of us getting rid of the filibuster, where we're going to have these weak Democrats who won't do much with it, whereas we'll have these Republicans who would literally just pass everything they can possibly get away with because of the fact that they just don't care. Like one side cares more about optics than the other. So getting rid of the filibuster is dangerous. And any politician worth their salt should know that. To then use that, the fact that we need this filibuster specifically to make sure that the Republicans aren't going to go ridiculously ham in 4 years or 8 years, to use that as some sort of sign that these people don't genuinely like, or to blame them for that as for why this bill isn't the thing. It just sounds so short-sighted.
So what the point of this conversation is to assign blame. So when I'm assigning blame to the Democratic Party for their other failures, what's behind that blame is that I want them to be better, right? So that, like, I would want to have a Democratic Party that actually did stand for the rights, or civil rights of its constituents, right? It pretend to, right? Because what's going to happen now, right? After they failed miserably,